So I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this question lying on my spirit. Why is it that we don't easily recall our dreams? And why is it that we experience deja vu? Okay, so I heard this song by an artist named Raury, Raury, and he made a song with Big K.R.I.T, and it's called Forbidden Knowledge. I recommend you check it out. It's pretty cool. So, in that song, he mentions that there's this thing about deja vu and dreams where we just kind of just throw them to the side and just forget about them. And this triggered some thinking in me. And I'm like, yeah, why is it that we don't really know how to use deja vu to our advantage? Because, of course, you can use everything to your advantage. Things just don't happen just because. So I thought to myself, why is it that we're experiencing these things? And what am I supposed to do about it when I do experience deja vu? So in my spirit, that sat there, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and like I tell you guys all the time, the easiest way for you to leave your body and go experience other realities and other dimensions and whatnot is by going to sleep, waking up, and then you can experience it. It's a lot easier for you to leave your body once you've gotten a little bit of rest. All right, so let's go ahead and talk deeper about it. So, deja vu, in case you didn't know, it's like the moment where you feel like you already have experienced whatever you're presently experiencing, right? So, if you feel like you've been somewhere before, you probably have. I mean, why would your body or mind lie to you? If you've experienced something with someone before, for example, if you meet somebody and you look them in their eyes and you feel that familiarity, why would you feel that familiarity if they aren't actually familiar? Obviously, there's something within your spirit that's telling you that you actually have been there before. So, the reason why this is happening is because time actually doesn't move linearly, right? We already know that, or at least a lot of us do. So, we already know that time is an illusion. But the truth is that all of these different dimensions and stuff are existing the way that they exist as far as how we perceive them because of the different frequencies that they're vibrating at. So, this right here, this reality, the one that is the easiest for people to recall, it's vibrating at a very, very low frequency, aka it moves slow. That's why it seems like it takes forever to get what you want here. That's why whenever you are trying to manifest something, it's easy to get impatient because you're coming from a realm of reality or a level of intelligence that vibrates very, very, very rapidly. So the frequency is ridiculously high. And then you're in a place like here, when your consciousness is down here. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but if you see my other videos, a lot of time when I refer to this reality specifically, I always refer to it and saying down here. The reason why I'm saying down is because it vibrates at a lower frequency. So because this world vibrates at a lower frequency, it takes more patience for things to manifest. So when you're trying to figure out who you are and what you're supposed to be doing here, it might feel like it's taking longer, but it's not actually taking any longer than it would in any other reality. The only difference is it's easier for you to perceive this reality and more details about it because it vibrates so slowly. So let me give you an example. If you're in a race car, right? Freaking race cars can go like over 200 miles per hour. Say you're in a race car going straight and it's just a linear path. If you're going down that road and you're going 200 miles per hour, you're driving past all type of stuff at every moment, and you're moving at such a high frequency, aka you're moving so fast, it's not going to be as easy for you to notice all the small details about the instant moments that you're living in. So all of these instances are happening, and subconsciously you're downloading them or whatever, but consciously you're not picking up on the smallest details. For example, if you drive past a tree, you're not noticing that there was actually a bird in that tree. You might just have seen a tree. Boom, it fly past your peripheral vision and you forget about it. Okay? But when it's a lower frequency world, like this one, for example, it's kind of like being in that same car, but that car is only moving at 30 miles an hour. So it's easy for you to pick up on smaller details. It seems like you're in the car longer, or not necessarily that you're in the car longer, but it might seem like that road is longer because you're moving slower down the road. You could be traveling down the same road that's 3 miles, for example, but if you're moving slower down that road, it's going to seem like that road is a lot longer than what it really is. So keeping that in mind, when you're experiencing deja vu, it's like, okay, so this is very, very familiar. So this is what just happened to me. I moved my consciousness to a parallel reality. What happened was I laid down with the intention on understanding deja vu, or being able to more seriously comprehend what it is. So my higher self pulls me out of my body and I end up in another reality in the future. Okay. So I time traveled. So now I'm in the future. I'm trying to figure out, why am I here? Because whenever I leave my body, I always set an intention and then I let my higher self take over. So basically, I was trying to figure out why I was there, because all I wanted to understand was deja vu. But it's funny how whenever I'm trying to comprehend what deja vu is, or whenever I'm trying to figure out whatever anything is, my higher self always presents it in a way that I don't expect, because, well, it's from the highest intelligence, and down here I'm just simply not at my highest intelligence. So that's why I have to surrender to my higher self. That's what people are talking about when they're talking about the ego death and whatnot. So anyways, so now that I was in this reality, or this new parallel reality, I'm in this new reality and I see that I'm much older. In a lot different scenarios. Because of the fact that I'm older, I'm further along in my life. So I was paying attention to all of these details, and I noticed that it seemed like my days were going by faster in a way. And I was able to experience multiple scenarios and multiple days, when in this reality, I was literally only laying down for like 2 hours. But there, it seemed like I was there for multiple days. And the reason why that's a thing is because in that parallel reality, it vibrates at a higher frequency. So I'm able to experience what seems like multiple days in the same amount of time that here I only feel like I experienced 2 hours. So the deja vu thing is coming into play, where I'm able to realize that because time doesn't move in a linear fashion, because we are existing in all of these realities at the same time, it's not a matter of, oh, wait, now I'm 15 years old and 15 years old in one day the next day. It's not a matter of that when it comes to the higher intelligences, or should I say the higher realms. In the realms that move faster, it's like time doesn't move like this. It moves like this. So everything's weaving together. So your ideas of yourself, the things that you're learning, the things you're experiencing, all of that stuff is happening at the same time. So all of your ideas and your experiences are not separate from any other reality. It's just that you think that they're separate because of your consciousness. So depending on how high in your consciousness you've reached in this journey of yours, you might be able to recall some of the other dimensions that you live in. Like me, for example, I have the ability to actually remember some of the other realities that I'm existing in and stuff that I'm doing in them. Okay. So because I'm able to actually remember some of these other realities, I realize that it's not even necessarily like a deja vu type of thing to where I think that I was there before. I know for a fact that I was there because of my ability to actually take my consciousness and put it in another place, so I can actually remember, oh yeah, I remember this because I was there a few years ago when I astro traveled and I got to this place or whatever. Or if there's somebody you feel that familiarity with and you don't know why you experienced it with them, a lot of time it's because neither one of you two's consciousness has expanded enough quite yet to remember, oh yeah, I remember 2 lifetimes ago we had did this thing. Like a lot of the time people aren't aware of all of the stuff that they've experienced. Heck, 100% of the time people in this reality, people are not aware of all of the stuff that they've experienced in all their past lives. And I mean, it wouldn't even make sense for you to have the capacity to be able to remember all that stuff, but you can get to it, you have access to it. But it's kind of like, it makes life a lot more interesting when you don't have all the answers and you have to seek them. It's like a treasure hunt, and the information about yourself is the true treasure. So the better you get to know yourself, the more wealthy you are. So continuing on this deja vu thing, once you expand your awareness of yourself enough, you're going to be able to remember in more detail where you were and when you were there, and it'll translate into every reality at whatever point that reality and its frequency passes that threshold. So you're all passing through the same threshold. It's just a matter of how fast it seems like you get there, because every vehicle, aka every different body that you're in, they're vibrating at different frequencies. So some of them you're going to get to that frequency, or you're going to stay at that frequency, and that frequency is going to move a lot faster. So you're going to get to that event that happened that you so clearly remember, or whatever, or even vaguely remember. You're going to get to that threshold. You're going to get to that point in every parallel reality, but in some parallel realities it might seem like it took forever for you to get there, and some of them it seemed like you got there super fast. And that's just because of the way that these worlds are set up. Some of them move a lot faster than others, but they're all on the same path. It's the same road, it's just different vehicles. So sometimes you might be moving as fast as if you're on a jet, and sometimes some of these realities move as slow as if you're on a freaking tricycle. So you just gotta realize that all of this stuff is happening because the only reason why you're thinking that, or you might doubt that you experienced it before, is because your consciousness hasn't expanded enough for you to know exactly where and when it was that you did experience that, and which other reality it was that you experienced it. But if, as far as my perspective, when you feel like you experienced something before, I bet you did. I bet you did. It just wasn't in this reality. It was in one of those other parallel realities that we exist in. And like I said, because you haven't truly developed or mastered the skill of being able to take your consciousness and put it in those other places whenever you feel like it, it's the unconscious thing, or it's a subconscious thing. Your subconscious mind isn't going to forget anything that you've ever experienced. But you're definitely going to remember when you have a moment that's like a pivotal moment. It's like some little glimmer in your subconscious to be like, wait a second. Like if you look somebody in their eyes, you see a whole freaking soul. That's something that's truly infinite. So, I mean, of course, it's going to be easier for you to recognize people than it would be to recognize similar experiences. Like if I just go to a specific place. A lot of the time, I notice that it's easier to feel that sense of familiarity when it's with someone and not something, because someone, it seems like someone has more energy than something, because it's more familiarity. We're a lot more energetic, and well, naturally, I'm more interested in another human being than I would be in a thing. I mean, it just makes sense. So, and that's just a quick video explaining that. Leave me a comment and let me know about some of your deja vu experiences, and tell me what you think about my perspective on this. If you got any suggestions about any future videos, feel free to leave them in the comment section and click that like button for me. It helps this channel out. Till next time.